who made it to the workshop today. What's up, y'all? Hey y'all, welcome back to the Emotional Workshop, your forever safe space to chill, feel, and heal. If you're new here, I'm Katera. I'm hella emotional, and I created the workshop for us to sit in our shadows, reflect on our thoughts, and come out on top. Here we are. Here we are halfway through the season 2, episode 5. We are halfway through. Y'all, how y'all feeling? I would really love to know how you guys are feeling, how the episodes have gone so far for you. I'm pretty sure that I put some polls on each episode because I'm still getting new to this, new and true to this Spotify game with the polls and things like that. It's always some new technology. So I am trying to get with it, and I'm pretty sure it came to me after the fact I recorded and edited and everything like that. So I didn't say I put a poll at the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a poll at the end of these episodes. So if you didn't see the ones prior to now, then go ahead, check them out, see what they're talking about, answer the polls, give me some engagement, let me know that you're listening, okay? Because I really love that. I really would. And if you aren't on Spotify, let me know you're listening through Instagram, share a story, pop up on Facebook, pop up on TikTok, wherever you at, I'm probably there, okay, except for Twitter. I know. I know. I probably should be there, but I'm not. It's just too much going on right now, okay? And I'm also on YouTube, so you can always leave a comment on YouTube for me to just know that you're here and that you're listening, okay? I won't be able to get to say if you guys have commented on my stuff until next season because I'm pre-recording all of these. So just to give you guys a little heads up, but my weeks actually have been going as I've been talking, unless I distinctively said I'm going back to the past weeks that I was on a break or whatever. So yeah, you guys, anywho, I am just happy to be here. I'm so glad that we can reconvene for episode 5 and we can get to it. Today's a fun episode. I have fun making this one because it's just something that we don't like to talk about. And those are the funnest episodes, okay? The best topics. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead, get all up in my business, and spin the block. Let's go. So this past week was good for me. I got some much needed time off, honey. I need some time off. It felt so good, okay? My brother, my broski, he came through to visit me, and I was so excited. He came through because he had an interview with an airline here. So he definitely was like, let me pop by. I was like, oh, you ain't got to pop by. You know what I'm saying? Like, come chill with me for real. Like, we can really get it popping, get it cracking. So he was just here for one night only. You know what I'm saying? Just one night. He was from out of town. Okay. I had to throw a Drake reference in there. Okay. So lame, you guys. I'm so lame. But he came. I had a really good time. We went out on the town for that one night. We met some really cool people. And I just had this thing, like, when I get drunk, like, I love to talk to any and everybody. I mean, in real life, I don't mind talking to people. I'm just pretty introverted, and I just love my head in my own space. So when people try to talk to me, I'm just like, do I know you? Why are we talking? But if for some reason, everywhere I go, somebody got something to say to me, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool, But whatever. I had a good time out. We actually saw a fight after the club. And to me, that's the best club night. It was on a Tuesday. It was wasn't it Tuesday? It was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I think it was a Tuesday. We went out on a Tuesday. And if you go out on a Tuesday in the city, there's bound to be something that happens. Now, if you go out on a Tuesday in a regular place, and by regular place, I mean somewhere that's not like a major city, you're probably not going to find nothing too much. But it was nice. People were outside. People were out supporting. People were just out having a good time in this nice summer heat. Okay. But we had a good time. It was nice to see him for under 24 hours. It was just like, what? And I still had to work too. So, because I ended up taking the time off after he left because I wanted to have a longer break, like from the end of the week the weekend and then like the beginning of the next week. I didn't want to take off like that whole first week that he was here for that one day, because that just didn't work for me. So I had to go to work that following day and I had a hangover from hell. It was like, excuse me, what? It was so crazy. I just haven't had a hangover like that in a long time. But I also don't be drinking like that because I don't be going out. And I'm pretty sure if I had a little posse here, I probably wouldn't have had a hangover that night because I would be used to drinking. But your girl threw it back a lot of times. I can't even remember. I just remember we went to this one place and they had like half off tequila or something, tequila shots, or like buy one get one free. It was some kind of deal on tequila shots, and I was like, nah, this is the perfect time for me to try the tequilas that I don't like, or not that I don't like. What? That makes no sense. Try the tequilas I've never tried before. That's funny as hell. But I tried them, and I'm so glad I tried them at that place, because I spent like under $10 and tried like 3 or 4 tequilas. I tried SZN. It was okay. I just wanted to see what the hype was about, because I do not like Casamigos, okay? I don't like it. It's nasty. Patron is, I could just taste the throw up right now. Patron is just not that girl. She's not that girl. I can do Don. I can do a Don Julio. He's cool. El Jimador is, real cheapsy. But I like it. If I had to pick a cheap one, I would go with El Jimador. Hornitos is like my top. Like I always do Hornitos, but a lot of places don't be having Hornitos, and it's like, it's budget friendly. It's nothing like expensive. There's a lot of tequilas I haven't tried too. I used to like Altos. What's another tequila? I tried Diddy's tequila. What was it called? Deleon, I think. I want to support my Black people. But when I tried Deleon, I said, absolutely not. This is terrible. Like, to me, what qualifies a good tequila is that it is smooth, number one, and it gets the job done. And, you don't have to take so many shots to get the job done. Really, with any tequila, you don't have to take that many shots. But with the higher price ones, you only really need like 2 shots and you probably going to be good. Depending on your limit, of course. What also classifies a good tequila to me is like the taste. Like, it's not so strong. And that's what equates to the smoothness for me. So that's kind of why I like to do Reposado over Blanco or whatever. Blanc, is it Blanc or Blanco? I don't know, but I tried to do Reposados, but I'm not scared of doing white tequila either. So when I tried Deleon, it just punched me in the face, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is terrible. This is so nasty. I don't know. And even after drinking other tequilas, it was way stronger than any tequila I had that night. I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. So, but I have to say, at the top of the list for all tequilas that I've had is that 1942 Don Julio, baby. If you got the money, if you got the coin, try use some 1942, okay? Everyone talks about it. Okay? But it's that girl. She's it. She is it. I had it for the first time at a party, so lucky me, I got it for the free ski, okay? I literally had like a shot or two and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'll just sip on my drink for the rest of the night. I don't need no more shots, nothing, none of that. I remember one time I went to the club and I was like, I'm gonna go get me a shot of tequila or whatever. And it was like, I don't know how we got on the subject of now 1942, because I told them like I want something better than well. But I didn't necessarily say I wanted 1942. So she brought the check and it was like $50 for a shot. And I said, I didn't ask for 1942. You gonna give me the most expensive one on the fucking menu? Like, girl, what? Why would you do that? So I was like, no. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll get you another one. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not spending $50 for this shot. Like, I'm not cheap, but I'm also not spending $50 for a shot. No, I'm just not doing that. So Anywho, I would love if I went to a party and somebody had the 1942 because I just like to spend my money on other things, not really liquor. But if I had an abundance of money, like, of course, I would splurge and get the best liquor out there. But for now, her needles would do the trick, okay? So, yeah, long story short, I had a really good time with my friend. It really, really messed up, okay? We didn't even get no food afterwards. Why didn't we? I don't know why we didn't get food. That's a good question. But anywho, I had a great time. He ended up going back home, and yeah, I was back to living my normal life. So, but all in all, I have the time after that I had took time off work, and it was really nice, really relaxing. I felt so rejuvenated. And I was like, maybe I just needed a break from work. Maybe I just needed a break in order for me to get my head into the game and to appreciate this job more. And when I got back, I gave it a week and I was like, nope, it's not. It's not that I needed a break. It's this job. It's this job. It's not the break. The break literally made me feel what life is like again. And coming back reminded me as to where I'm at right now in life. So yeah. It wasn't a joyous time, but I will forever be grateful that I got time off and got paid for it, and that I had a great time with my brother that came in town. So I could not be happier at this moment, okay? But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and tiptoe on over to a word from the fam. Okay, so this quote comes from an array of people that I've been listening to because as an aspiring business owner that I want to be, I listen to a lot of webinars, a lot of seminars, a lot of just things that can help me grow and understand what business is all about, right? And so when I've been listening to these people, one of the things they've always said relates to this quote. The quote is, "Everything has been said or done in some capacity. How can you connect and or relate to people with your perspective and your knowledge?" Okay, that's what sets you apart from everyone else. Your unique perspective, your unique knowledge is going to allow you to connect to the people that you need to connect with and that resonate with you. So it doesn't matter what everyone else is out there doing. It doesn't matter if you're not the first. It doesn't matter if you're the 500th, the 5 millionth person to do this thing. You haven't done it before. So with you on the scene, you bring a unique perspective, a unique connection of some sort, and you will end up finding your tribe. They're looking for you just the way you're looking for them. So that's the quote of today from multiple people and summed up by me. Okay. So let's go ahead and gather in the fellowship hall, y'all. Okay. We're going to go on over there, get our little fellowship hour on, and talk about the topic of the day. Let's go. So the topic this week is about distraction. Okay. The D is for distraction. That can go so many ways. So many ways. Okay. Because there's a lot of distractions and there's a lot of distractions. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Distraction from what, you may ask? You may ask, like, what are we distracting ourselves from? What you talking about? You just talking about the D's for distraction. Oh, okay. What about what? What are we distracting ourselves from? There's many different distractions that come up in our lives in different categories. That could be self-love, relationships, business and goals, mental health. So many different ways we can distract ourselves from working on these different categories. But as you know, this season is all about self-help and self-love and self-healing, right? So we're going to focus on self. Of course. Okay. So number one, what is distraction? What is a distraction? A distraction is anything that removes or takes your focus off of anything that you want to accomplish, achieve, or grow. Remember that. I'm going to say that a lot in this episode. Accomplish, achieve, or grow. If this particular thing that you're focusing on removes you from something or takes your energy or attention off of something that's going to help you achieve, accomplish, or grow, it's a distraction. Point blank period. That's just how I view it. So some examples of distractions, since you guys just have to know. Let's say you're like, I'm going to go clean these dishes right now instead of starting the first chapter of the book that I want to write. I'm going to go take a TV break instead of creating this logo for my business. I'm going to go text the D on my roster and see what they up to instead of working on my self-healing and my self-love and trying to figure out what my issues are. A little deep. I got a little deep. Did I get too deep for you? Because that happens. It happens. This is our daily lives. These are the things that we do. You know, sometimes dealing with that first chapter of the book just seems like too much energy. And you know what? I actually do need to clean my house. I do. So let me just go ahead and do that because I really need to get that done. I've been said I need to do that, point blank period. So I let me go do that. It's not like I'm not doing anything. But you told yourself you was going to write the first chapter of that book, right? Right. Okay. Now, when it comes to like the TV break with the logo and everything, okay. Like, yeah, you could take a TV break, but don't forget to come back to what you said you was going to do. If you said you were going to do it, don't not do it. It sounds so simple. It feels so simple. But when we get into the act of doing that, go back to my last episode. You already know, scared of success. We distract ourselves. We self-sabotage ourselves because it becomes from a feeling of lack of somewhere. We lack confidence. We lack knowledge. We lack something. Distraction is just one element that falls into being scared of success, okay? If you didn't listen to the episode, go on back, go on and listen, because it's a good one. It's a really good one. And last but not least, you already know, the girls love to go out and have sex, okay? The girls, they do. That's what they do. Now, me, per se, I'm the type of person who cannot have sex with just anybody, okay? I literally have to almost be in a relationship with you to have sex with you. So, like, I haven't had sex in a very long time. That's a lot of TMI, but, like, it also isn't because it's just kind of like, it's my life. I don't really care if people know or not. But I know people who like to distract themselves with that. You know what I'm saying? And there's no shade to them or anything like that. But there is a reason why. It's because you want to feel something, you know? And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't indulge in these things because you definitely can. Like, ain't nobody telling you don't text who you want to text to get what you want. No one's telling you that, baby. Have your fun. I wish I could do that. It sounds like fun. It sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. So do that, you know. No one said that you can't go clean your house if that's what you feel like doing. No one said you can't take a TV break, you know. But when it gets to the point where it's distracting you from achieving something, accomplishing something, or growing something, then you need to reevaluate, how much is this thing helping me and how much is it hurting me? Do I need to step back a little bit, or do I need to, you know, just figure out a different type of balance about it? I just need to figure out how I can even out the scales to the point where it's not affecting the things I want to achieve, accomplish, and grow. And it's also not affecting me being free and being able to just do what I want to do to make myself feel good, because damn, I want to feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So when you're going to balance these things out, I do want you to think, why, if you have the question in your head, why am I not achieving and accomplishing things that I set myself out to do? It's probably because of distractions, okay? Another thing, why am I not growing and healing in the direction that I wanted to? Why am I not over this situation yet? Why am I not progressing towards, you know, letting go of this old toxic energy? It's probably because of distractions. You got something else in your energy that's just throwing you away and pulling you away from the upside of your growth and your healing, you know? So you just got to sit back and evaluate that, and you have to be honest with yourself, because none of this coming from the emotional workshop is going to work if you're not honest with yourself. That's just how it's going to go forever, okay? So in the business of self-love and self-help and self-healing, removing distractions is required, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, when we don't reach the goals that we set out to accomplish, achieve, or grow, we're sad. We're upset. We feel like we're not doing good. Okay. We feel like we can never get on top. We can never get to where we want to be. We just feel like we can't move anywhere. We can't move up or anything like that. But when we actually start to achieve some of those things and reach some of those goals and start to grow emotionally and everything like that, we feel happy. We're like, man, that was a time that I was in, but I'm so happy that I'm here now. I'm so happy that I pushed myself to get to this. I'm so happy I eliminated this distraction or modified or handled that distraction in moderation. You know what I'm saying? So that I could achieve this one thing. I balanced my life so that I could reach a goal that I've been looking forward to. So let's think about, where do these distractions come from? Why do we willingly just indulge and partake into distractions? Why is it so easy for us to just easily get distracted and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this, right? So the number one thing I think of is instant gratification. We love instant gratification, baby. We love it. It feels so good, right? It feels so good to just be instantly gratified. And you're just like, oh, my life is made. But it's only made for that moment because it's instant gratification. It's not a long-term gratification. And number two is addiction. Our addictions just kind of feed into our lives. When we're addicted to something, it's kind of hard to say no unless you're ready to say no. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person who can do cold turkey, then you're able to say no to some things. But a lot of us, it's really hard to do that. So when I say addictions, I'm talking TV, I'm talking cleaning, working out, lounging around, being on social media, gaming, drugs, sex, partying, like all of that. All of that plays into your addictions and whatever else you may be addicted to that I didn't list. These things play a part and they get in the way of our success. They get in the way of the things we want to accomplish, achieve, and grow. And if we don't nip them in the bud or we don't partake in them in balance, it can really take over our entire life. And we really don't want that. So let me go ahead and give you an example of how instant gratification and addiction can just kind of take over, right? So let's say I'm working on something. Let's just use me as an example. Let's say I am working on my podcast right now. Like right now, I am recording. I'm sitting here recording. Let's say I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat some food and I have the specific taste for something. I want to go down the street and go to a restaurant and either go to fast food or whatever. Go pick me some food up. I want to get some takeout, right? But I know that I'm working on my podcast right now. So it's like, I could go cook some food real quick because I'll still be in the house and everything, but I really want this thing. So it's going to make me really happy to get it right now. Let me just go ahead and get it. So I go, put my little clothes on, go downstairs, hop in the whip. Okay. I drive down the street. I go get my food, or actually I get in line. I wait for my food. I get my food. And then I start heading on back to the house. I walk back up the stairs or the elevator, however you get in your house. Or if you don't have no stairs, you just walk in the house. Okay. You come back in, you sit down, you look for something to watch, you start eating, right? Now, in the span of all that time, I could have probably made me a sandwich, something just to hold me over. I could have cooked a little something on the stove, put something in the oven, put something in the microwave, did a little something quick, ate that, maybe watched a little TV, and then got back up and got right back to work. But because I wanted that thing so bad and I wanted the instant gratification so bad, I decided I'm going to go down there and get it. I'm going to make it happen. Okay. I'm going to get gratified today. I don't care. Is that a word? Gratified? I don't know. I'm always asking, is that a word? I'm going to need for you guys to start leaving a comment if I'm saying words or if I'm making stuff up. Anywho, I got what I wanted and I came back and everything like that. But in the span of all that, since I just had to go get this instant gratification, I didn't waste it like an extra 30 minutes to an hour when I could have did everything here, eaten here, and only broke my focus for a good 30 minutes to an hour rather than leaving for a good 30 minutes to an hour and then coming back to have to sit down and eat for another 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? And then get back up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, we don't want to be looking at the clock and the time and be like, oh, well, I could have had one more hour if I did it. But in reality, you could have. So it's like, if this goal is very important to you, what are the sacrifices you're willing to make to get that, right? So if this thing continues, if this instant gratification just continues and continues, and every time you feel like you want to go do this one thing instead of completing the task at hand or doing something that's going to take minimal time away from the task, you're feeding this loop and it's going to continue and it's going to continue. And then eventually it's going to become an addiction. Okay. Because that food habit that I'm referring to that I could have done if I was, sitting here well, I am sitting here recording, but if I was to get up and go get some food, then I will, whenever that feeling came back up, I was like, oh, I could just go get her, whatever. It's no big deal. And then it continues and it continues. And every time I get that little inkling, I'm like, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it. And after a while, I've just become addicted. I'm a fiend for it. I can't say no to it, you know? So your instant gratification can easily turn into an addiction if you don't check it at the door. And in turn, and as a result, you'll never be satisfied, you know? And you'll never be satisfied until you get to the root of the issue. All right. And so now that brings me to my next point, the root of the issue. And the issue here at hand is distractions. So we're going to get to the root of our distractions. One of the biggest ones, the one I feel like contributes to the root of distractions, is lack of accountability. Okay. I would have to say these are not facts. This is just observance from me. Okay. I would have to say around 95% of people don't take this as law. But I feel like a lot of us do not like to be held accountable for our actions. We do not. Don't tell us we did something wrong. Don't tell us that we messed up. Don't tell us that we failed. We don't even want to feel failure. So therefore, don't hold me accountable for anything because I didn't even say I was going to do that. Okay. That's how I be feeling. It's just like, you might have said you was going to do it, but it's just like, who are you to hold me accountable for something I said I was going to do? Okay. Cause that's exactly how we be acting. And y'all know we be acting that way. It's just like, don't tell me I said I was going to do something when I said I was going to do it. Like, nah. So we tend to fall into our distractions because we don't want to be held accountable for failing or for not reaching that goal or anything like that. So we'll have that distraction to lean back on if someone brings it up. Or if we bring it up to ourselves, like, well, why haven't I finished this yet? Why haven't I moved on to the next step? Oh, yeah, I had to clean. Oh, yeah, I went down the street and got some food. Oh, yeah, I went to go hit up old person the other day. Like, it's okay. I had things to do. And it's like, it's okay. But like, if this was one of your things to do, you didn't do this thing. You know what I'm saying? So we don't like to be held accountable for things. And sometimes you're just going to look in the mirror and be like, you messed this one up. We can't do this again. Okay, we're going to have to find a new balance. We're going to have to find a new type of existence so that we can get things together and not be so distracted and save our distractions for our lazy days, because we have those. It's everything in moderation and everything in balance. Another big one to me is low self-worth. Okay, when we feel like we do not deserve the things that we want and we feel like our value is down, then we use distractions to self-sabotage our dreams. Okay, and we allow things to come in. We don't even have boundaries up with distractions. We're just going to do whatever we want to do because this ain't going to work anyway. Nobody wants to hear from me, or I don't even really want this. Do I even really want this? Not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you end up talking yourself out of things and you feel like you're just not worthy of the things that you desire. Like, oh, that's for billionaires, or, oh, I didn't have a good start in life. You know what I'm saying? You find any excuse to allow the distraction to come in and distract you from whatever you want to accomplish, achieve, and grow. I'm going to have that imprinted in y'all's mind before the end of this episode. Accomplish, achieve, and grow. Okay? That's what your distractions are taking you away from. So on the contrary of having low self-worth, I also feel like distraction comes from people who have super high self-worth and they're super egotistical, right? Because these people tend to go really, really hard, right? And if they fail, they distract themselves from that failure and they just keep going. They just keep going. They don't stop. They're just like, I don't see failure. I'm just going to drive home. Okay. I'm just going to do it. And no one can stop me. Okay. And it's like, yes, they make progress. Yes, some of them may reach their goals, but not without a burnout, not without feeling like ultimately they're never going to be enough, even though they have this super high self-worth, value, and outlook on themselves. They still feel like what they're doing isn't enough, if that makes sense. And that's why they're trying to overcompensate and continue to keep pushing so that they don't see the failures. They just see only success. And when the failures come, they'll distract themselves with more work and keep going. And that's equally as dangerous as doing nothing and letting the distractions take 100% over your life. So some other examples of low self-worth is going to lay up with somebody that you know is no good for you. You know, anytime you're over there, you instantly get gratified and then you're just like, I don't even like this person. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, they're not even that much fun. They don't even be listening to me. Like, whatever, you know, it's just for an instant gratification type thing. Another low self-worth thing is overindulging in food and in media and in certain unhealthy activities, like just continuing to do it and not seeing how it's affecting you and not noticing how it's not pouring back into you in some kind of way is another way of identifying your low self-worth. And to talk to the high self-worth point, it's just those people who just won't let things go. Things that aren't working, they won't let it go. They'll try to make it fit. They'll try to put a triangle in a circle, and they'll try to put a hexagon in a triangle. You know what I'm saying? And they'll just try to make it fit. They'll just force it until they eventually just crack. Okay? And that no one wants to get to that point. And the last root issue, or the last root of the distraction issue, has to be lack of patience. We get in this mode and this mood where we're like, I want what I want right now. And if it doesn't come right now, then it's not meant to be. And that could be further from the truth. Just further from the truth. It doesn't mean it's not meant to be just because it's not here right now. But we tend to think that sometimes. We tend to think, if it's not showing me some type of immediate result, then I'm in the wrong spot. I'm not doing something right. So some examples of that is starting new projects and expecting them to solve all your problems as soon as they wrap up or as soon as you get started on them, really. Another one is being unwilling to go through the journey of things and only focused on the destination, on how to reach this point rather than embracing the journey. Just having a lack of patience. And lastly, giving up on healing your past issues and going through some type of healing journey so that you can end up better at the end. You know, you lack that patience of things eventually working themselves out, smoothing things over. Instead, you're like, well, I don't feel good right now, so I'm just going to distract myself from it. I don't know about all this healing shit. I don't know about none of that. But all I do know is that I want to watch this TV show. Okay. All I do know is that I can go make a new friend. I can go find a new relationship. I can go do whatever. I don't need to heal through this. You know, there's a lot of people out there like that who just feel like they don't need to heal. And it's just like, we all need to heal. Okay. We all need to take ourselves through a healing journey, and some people can't do it on their own. You know, the people who can do it on their own are here watching me, and even the people who do it on their own still need therapy. Okay. We still need therapy. And if you don't have a person in your life who you feel like that y'all can have therapeutic talks and really get to the deep root issue of things, then you need to hire you a therapist, you know? And yes, even if you do have that person, you might need to hire a therapist. But I also feel like people come into your lives to help you learn more about yourselves and your issues. So if you are blessed to have somebody in your life like that, they probably are that substitute for a therapist, you know, because I definitely have that person, and we basically take each other through therapy all the time. Okay. And we've kind of deemed ourselves as self-healers. Okay. And we stick by that because we're not afraid to shine a light on the negative aspects of ourselves and just talk about it. So the key thing here is that you need to have patience to go through that, though. It don't matter even if you do decide to get a therapist or you have a trusted friend. If you're not patient enough to see the result and to see it through, then you'll never see the effects of it. So of course I have some examples for myself when it comes to distractions, honey. I got some examples. If there was a picture of a person in the dictionary next to distractions, it wouldn't be me. It might be me though. It just depends on the day, because baby, I can distract myself. I can. I think I've gotten a lot better though, because I'm like, I don't want to be here forever. So like, remove these distractions, get them on my face, and goodbye, because I got things to do, and it doesn't include you. Distraction, it doesn't include you. Okay. So in my middle school years, from 5th through 8th grade, I was a serious gamer, like serious gamer. And it wasn't like the gamers are now. I've never really been that type of gamer. I was my own type of gamer. Like I was an American Idol type girl, Dance Dance Revolution, GTA, Sonic. What else did I play? Oh, of course, Midnight Club, Tokyo Drift. Oh, that was my stuff back then. It was always like little girly games, like the Mary Kate and Ashley game. I love that game so much. But I just had a plethora of games. Like it wasn't necessarily that I was like in a specific genre. I just love to play different games. So I would easily just come from school, hop on the game. If I wasn't going to the youth center or something, even if I went to the youth center, I'd try to hop on the game real quick. But like there were so many other things to do. I was just like, I'll go do something else. But when I got home, I would hop up in my room, get up on the game, play it up until like, I don't know, I would eat dinner playing the game. I would do everything. And then it'd be time to go to bed around 9, 10 o'clock. I'll go ahead and take my shower and everything, and I go to bed. And then I would get up really early. Like I had to be at school around like 7 something. So I'm pretty sure I'll get up around like 5 and I'll be dressed by 6 and I'll play the game for like an hour. Like I'll make sure I got up in enough time so that I could play at least 30 minutes to an hour before school. Like it was serious, y'all. So I used to distract myself from a lot of things because I was alone and I didn't have any siblings or anything like that. And my mom had to work like an hour or so away. So she had to leave early in the morning and I just kind of had to get myself together, as a lot of kids do who have single parents, like just had to get myself together for the day. And so I was like, well, I'm going to play this game because it was really fun. But the root of it all was because, I was new to the place. I didn't have that many friends. So when I started to gain friends and go to the youth center and stuff, I definitely didn't play as much. But when I was by myself, I definitely would hop on the game and just play. And it was really fun, of course. And honestly, I played a lot because it just felt like having a friend. It felt like something was there. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my earliest time I played games to distract myself, just because I was a kid and I loved games, but I remember loving it so much at the earliest age of like 3rd grade, right? Because that's when I got my first PS2. I think I was in 3rd grade when the PS2 came out, and I kept it all the way up until like 6th, 7th grade, which is crazy. But I loved that PlayStation. Like I remember when I first got it, I was just like, oh my God, I have a PS2. Like I'm like in the 3rd or 4th grade. Like this is crazy. And I just would play it like crazy all the time. And I played it a lot then because my mom, she was in the military. So she was deployed at the time and she was in Germany. And I missed her so much. Y'all don't even understand. And I hated the person I was living with. I don't want to say I hated them. I didn't hate them, but I just strongly disliked them. Okay. And I was just like, I would just be ready to come home and play my game. And I just remember that was like the first time I could make sense of why I was playing. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember there was a distinct time where I was just like feeling sad that my mom wasn't there because, of course, she had to work and she had to do things or whatever. And I was just, not having siblings, it makes you feel even more lonely. And so I was just like, I wanted to feel something. And my game was the only thing that I could count on being there every single day for me. Okay. Every day I knew that I could go and indulge myself in the game and I could just have so much fun and escape into this different world that felt like it was my world that I had control over, which is probably why I'm such a control freak now. And I can't believe I forgot The Sims. Okay. The Sims. You want to talk about creating a whole nother world. Okay. I was literally telling my friend the other day that I literally look like my Sim from like 10 years ago. It's like I literally created my life. Like everything my Sim used to do back in the day, or that I used to make the Sim do back in the day, I do it now. I literally just wanted to create a life for myself. I think a lot of us wanted to, but I don't know how many of us are actually living in that life right now. But it is nothing but a simulation of what real life is like. So it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of us did look like our Sims. Because that's just what we did. We wanted to live a certain life, and then we eventually got to live that life because we grew up. So yeah, my game was just like my friend, and it was a distraction from me, a distraction from my emotions, because at that young of age, like, of course, 3rd grade, it was a passing thought. But like in middle school, I definitely was like, didn't want to feel those feelings, especially in middle school. You're starting to understand yourself more. You're starting to understand how you feel more. And when things happen, you're just kind of like, I don't want to think about that too deep because the middle school is already depressing as it is. And to think about all this, let me think about the happy stuff. So I just drowned myself out in games and eventually like hanging out with friends and stuff. Another example for me is when I used to take trips all the time to just anywhere around the US, right? It's when I worked a job that grew me up a lot. I talk about this job all the time when I worked in the warehouse, but I definitely didn't like the job. Like we always complained about it all the time. But the reason why I stayed is because I made good money there. I was able to move up in management, and my coworkers felt like family. Like we just bonded and we just had a good time, and we just sat there and complained together. So it was just, misery loves company and misery loves misery. So we just kind of all just stuck together until we could get out. Okay. But I used to take trips all the time. Like that was all I would do. And it was constantly distracting me from figuring out what I wanted my lifelong goals to be. Like, what did I want my life to head towards? What trajectory or path did I want to set down for myself in order to reach something? And taking these trips whenever I had off time, or just waiting on the paycheck to come through so that I can go ahead and plan my next trip, was just distracting me from it. For some people, that's okay. Like maybe some people are meant to just travel for life and just have fun, and that's how they make their money, or that's how they grow and experience. I definitely still resonate with that, and I still will want to travel 2 to 3 times a year. Like that's still in me. It's gone nowhere. But the way that I was doing it was as if that was my only goal in life, was to travel, which is okay, like I said, but I knew that there's something deeper for me to explore. I just wasn't willing to sit down and explore it. And that's because I had a lot of distractions going on. I had a situationship distraction. I had the traveling distraction. I had my friends in my face. That's a distraction. Like I love my friends, but like I already didn't have enough time for myself. And I really was giving too much time to a situationship. So my friends ain't got nothing to do with it. I'll leave them out of it. They good. But I just wasn't putting my energy in the right spaces. So therefore it left me feeling like, what is life? Like this can't be life. It can't be going to this warehouse 5 days out of the week, taking time off every month or so and going on a trip. I mean, I didn't go on a trip every month or so, but I definitely took like a day or 2 off every month, because who wanted to do that all the time? And what is this getting me? Where is this getting me? So eventually I was just like, you know what, let me start doing different things. So that's when I started going thrifting really hard, which I really miss thrifting. I got to go thrifting some more. The thrifting around here, I gotta find the right places, because the places I have found are like really expensive, and then the places that are normally known as the cheap places, they don't be having nothing good. I'm like, yo, how does Tennessee have better clothes? Like I know, because when I was there, them girls, they was not dressing. So I don't understand how they have better clothes at their thrift shops than y'all. Maybe y'all just holding on to y'all good stuff. I don't know. But it's hard for me to find stuff here in Dallas. But I know there is good things. I know I can go to like ThriftCon and things like that. But like I want the typical thrifting experience, just going to a thrift store. Like in Tennessee, the Goodwills are good. Here, the Goodwills are not good. Like you can't find nothing here. And I'm just like, yo, what is life? But anywho, I poured my money into thrifting, and I like furnished my whole apartment with thrifting from Goodwill. And that's another thing in Tennessee. Like I could find like a coffee table for $20. I could find a dining room table for like $40. Here, everything's like $70 and up. And I'm just like, for a used good, I can go to Walmart and find something better than that. Like what? So I just redirected my energy and started doing different things. And that's what led me to interior design, because I started getting compliments on my home. And then I was like, well, I've always kind of been interested in interior design, so let me just go ahead and try to figure it out. So then I got into a relationship that kind of opened my eyes about school, and then I went back to school and things started to flourish. So by me removing that distraction of just trying to get away all the time, and focusing on the wrong relationships, channeling back into myself, and going after things that I really love to do, such as thrifting and designing and decorating my home and stuff, it led me to a path and a goal that has benefited me in my life so far. So yeah, that's what I have on distractions and how they hinder us from accomplishing, achieving, or growing something that we really want to bring into our life, you know? And I just want you to remember that if you're distracting yourself from something, it's probably because of the issue of having instant gratification, and it might be feeding an addiction. And I just want you to look at that. And I want you to ask yourself, which one do you choose? Do you choose instant gratification or long-term success? Okay. So that is this week's topic, you guys. The D is for distraction, because it be distracting us. And you know, I always give my messages with love. So I just hope that it gave you some love, light, and healing. It helped open your mind up a little bit more, and it helped you to just start evaluating your life and trying to figure out, okay, what needs to move here? What needs to move here? How can I balance things? How can I moderate things? How can I remove these distractions so that I can accomplish, achieve, and grow? All right. Okay, you guys, are going to go ahead and take all of this knowledge, marry it with our experience, and create some wisdom in the lab. Okay, number one, what are some of your favorite distractions to indulge in? Let's just get it all out. Let's just get it all out in the open. Write them all down. Have fun with it, because this is probably the most fun you're going to have, okay? With these questions. Number two, have any of your distractions hindered you from accomplishing, achieving, or growing something? If so, how? Go ahead. Be honest. Be honest. Because like I said, if you're not going to be honest here, you might as well stop listening. Because what? But listen as many times as you need in order for it to get to you, in order for it to open your heart. However many times you need to press play, do that. Because you're helping me while I help you. Okay. Number three, can any of your distractions be turned into hobbies that help you accomplish, achieve, or grow something? So that's a good question. Like, let's say you're addicted or you're distracted by gaming, right? Can you achieve something with that? Can you accomplish something with that? Can you grow something with that? That's up to you to decide. Is it something that you really love to do? Like, do you really love to play games and it's a distraction for you? Well, how about you start a streaming channel? How about you start, getting on Twitch or whatever they do? I don't really know what they do, but why don't you start doing something like that? I know people don't like to turn their fun hobbies into work, but like, it can be something that helps you. Not everything has to help you either, but if your distraction is getting in the way of you helping yourself, then you might need to look at it as, how can this help me? And if it's not helping me, how can I remove it? It's all up to you. And number four, make a list of your distractions and long-term goals. When you do this, I want you to compare them. So compare your list of distractions and long-term goals. And can any of your distractions help your long-term goals? Okay, so if your distractions differ from your long-term goals, then, which they should, because then it wouldn't be a distraction, look at them separately. If your distraction cannot become a long-term goal, can the distractions that you have help the long-term goals? And figure out how you can weave it in so that you can get your satisfaction and your gratification that you're looking for, but you're still achieving and accomplishing something. Okay, so yes, you guys, that has been the lab and those little shadow working questions to get you thinking and really allow you to expand and turn the light back on you, because we always be looking at me and my problems, but we got to look at yours too. So yes, we're going to go ahead and get to my favorite part of the show, and that is a moment. Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for a moment meditation. We're going to go ahead and get right on into it. If you have not been a part of a meditation with me before, I go through a method for about a minute. It's like a breathing technique. And then for the rest of the time, I let you just fall into your subconscious. Okay. So the method that I go through is called the EAR method that I created. It stands for E, embrace. So you're going to embrace your thoughts while you're inhaling a breath. A is for accept. So you're going to hold your breath and accept the thoughts that have come in. And then R is for release. You're going to release your thoughts as you exhale the breath that we inhaled and held. Okay. So when you are breathing, I want you to remember to Try to breathe from your diaphragm and your stomach area and not necessarily your chest area. Like, of course, we have to use our lungs and things of that nature, but you want to make sure that you're getting your deep breaths from your stomach. So when you inhale, your stomach expands. When you hold, of course, your stomach doesn't do anything. And then when you exhale, your stomach contracts back. Okay? Before we get started, I want to go ahead and clear the energy, clear your space. So I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. All right. I want you to inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. One more time. Inhale and embrace, hold and accept, exhale and release. The rest of the time will be for you to dive into your subconscious, all right? All right, you guys, I hope you had a great meditation. Before I let you go and you link back up with other Katera, I want to just give you some tips real quick. Sometimes I get fidgety in my meditations and I can feel myself moving my fingers around, or I might want to check the time or something. Allow all of that to happen. Embrace that if that happens to you. Don't feel like you have to be, it's like just stone cold straight, no movement. Things will happen. Sometimes I laugh through my meditation. So if you caught me smirking, it's because just different thoughts come up in my head that make me laugh. So there's just different things that happen in your meditation. I just want you to know that whatever your meditation practice looks like, is perfect for you. It doesn't have to look like everyone else's. So if you felt like you were not that successful in this meditation because you didn't finish, or you were fidgety, or you were thinking about things that made you laugh, just know that you were 100% efficient and you did exactly what needed to be done because you grounded yourself so that you can be present throughout the rest of your day. Okay? So I will see you guys in the next clip. Toots. Welcome back to your consciousness. We are back with it. And that has been episode 5 of season 2 of the Emotional Workshop. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me in the shop today. If you want to keep up with me, you can always find me on IG, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all at the Emotional Workshop. Okay. Remember, I'm going to put a poll at the end of this episode or on the episode page, wherever you do it on Spotify. I'll put a poll of some sort, and please interact with me. Let me know your answer. And if you aren't on Spotify, please leave a comment on YouTube or find me on Instagram and let me know that you enjoyed the episode. I really love when you guys tell me you enjoyed it. It just warms my heart so much. And I just feel like, oh my God, y'all are listening. So I really, really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I hope that you have a very fulfilling week and you do something that makes you feel loved this week. Okay? I will see you guys in the next session.